Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. I really enjoy singles, palettes, multichromes, duochromes, highlighter, blush, lip gloss, basically everything but pressed glitter. And today we are going to be doing a first impressions with the Makeup Maniacs Cosmetics C'est La Vie palette. This is a $20 palette and it is primarily pinky purple toned. Gorgeous. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me. We're getting into it right now. Alright you guys, and obviously the look that we're going to be doing is this look right here, so I will be showing you that here in just a moment, but I did want to go ahead and show you swatches of this palette so you can kind of see what you're getting into. Since it's 9 shades, I guess we'll do them live. If I don't throw everything off my desk. So I'm going to go just like left to right, top to bottom. And let's do it this way. So this is Echo, Orchid, Flutter, so that's the first 3 shades. Then we have Flight, Royal, and Scarlet. And the last 3 shades that we have here are Life, Amethyst, and Midnight. And let me see if I can get a close-up for you. Alright you guys, and now that you've been able to see the close-ups and the swatches, let's go ahead and get into this look right here. Okay you guys, so now we're ready for the demo portion of the video, and we're going to be going in with this palette called C'est La Vie. This is again from Makeup Maniacs Cosmetics. So what I want to do with this palette is I think actually just use a lot of these like purpley berry shades, so like Echo, Amethyst, Midnight, make a really pretty like purpley kind of smoky look, and then I'm going to use a topper out of another palette to kind of bring the whole look together. So I think that's going to look really nice together. Again, this is pretty much all mattes, so I'm really just looking to get a good like solid matte base to my eye look. Whoa, my goodness. And I'm going to start with just like a light fluffy brush here, and I'm going to go into that top lilac-y purple shade called Echo. And that's actually a pretty good amount of pigmentation for a shade that looks that light. I wasn't sure how that was going to come off. Definitely goes on nicely and blends out nicely. So I like how that's looking. I've got a nice like pop of like a violet lavender shade there. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with Amethyst, which is this bottom center shade. Again, on my camera it's reading a little bit blue, but in person it's definitely a very strong like grape purple. And I'm going to go in with a slightly finer brush. So this is just like a little domed crease brush here. It's a beautiful shade. And I'm kind of going to do things a little bit differently today. I'm kind of going for more of like a sunset eye. So I'm going to try to make a gradient that goes from the base of my eyelid, where like my lash line is, up. And so it's going to be really the darkest down here. And as we work our way up, it's going to get lighter. Because then when I pop that shimmery shade over top, it's really going to, I think, look very nice. And I think because of how like intense these pigments are, if you kind of pick some up on your brush and stamp it in first before you start blending, that'll give you a better, like more even base, and it won't look quite as patchy or take as long to blend. I don't think the shadow itself is patchy. I think it's just because it's so pigmented that you're going to want to use that type of kind of bouncing technique to get it to blend out really nicely. Because look how much faster this eye is blending out than my first eye. There. And so you see, it gives a really nice like layered gradient effect. I like that a lot. Alright, the last shade I'm going to go in with is Midnight, which is this deep navy shade over here. Now this one is definitely a blue, so if this reads blue on camera, that's a good thing. And I'm going to use this little like kind of pointed crease brush just so I can really get the pigment where I want it and not have it go like all over the place. And then the other nice thing about having such a small brush is that you can really get into the inner corners, make sure that everything is evenly distributed throughout the lid. I think that that looks really pretty. I'm going to go back in with that second brush in the middle tone shade and just kind of buff everything out, make sure it stays nice and blended. And then just once more with that first shade, Echo. Alright, and so that's what I'm going to use out of this palette for the first part of things. Oh my gosh, on my viewfinder, this looks so intense, and it's really kind of tripping me out, but that's alright. So let me grab my glitter glue, and we're going to go ahead and put an eyeshadow topper on this. So the topper that I want to use is actually out of my Clionadh collection, and I'll show you, oh gosh. Here's my collection. And so I think the shade that I want to use is actually this shade Abrasion, which has a really pretty like blue purple shift, and then it looks just so metallic. I think the shade that I want to use is this one right here. It has this really pretty like fuchsia to blue to purple kind of shift, and I think that's gonna look so pretty over top of this eye look. So that's what we're gonna apply glitter glue and then go in with that shade. And this is just one of those Wet n Wild flat paddle brushes. It definitely lifted a little bit higher than what I was anticipating, but that's okay. We will make it work. Alright, and same thing on the other lid. My wild hair over here. Alright, and you can see in the viewfinder that this has just like a really pretty like luminescence and reflectance. It's definitely pulling very strongly blue, which I think is very complementary to the navy that's underneath it, and I think it still complements the purple and that sort of lavender type shade that's in the like uppermost part of the eye look. I think it still complements those shades really nicely. Obviously I have a little bit of like fallout and transfer because my fingers are bigger than my inner corners. But we'll clean that up whenever I do my base. So let me step off camera. I'm going to do my base products and then I will be right back. So I'm back. I've done a little bit of a bronzer and blush. The bronzer that I used is the Kiko Milano. This is the Unexpected Paradise bronzer number 01 Warm Honey. And it kind of smells like the Physicians Formula ones, but since Physicians Formula decided to start selling in China, they're not really cruelty free anymore, so I haven't been buying from them. And then the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette. I used the blush here. Forgive my nails, they're just janky right now. And then I used this diamond highlighter. I went in with the powdered highlight over top of it, and then at the very tops of my cheekbones, which you can kind of hopefully see, I topped it with a little bit of the diamond powder, which is like the more glittery, like intense powder. So I want to go in and finish my lower lash line so that we can get some lashes on and kind of complete this look. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to again use those same three shades, basically Echo, Amethyst, and Midnight, and kind of smoke everything out under the lower lash line. Okay, you guys, I do apologize. I think everything that I just did is out of focus, so I may just put it in as like sped up version of what I was doing. But basically, I smoked out all 3 shades underneath the lower lash line using the lightest color first and kind of going a little bit lower, and then using those other 2 and kind of just wiggling them in between the actual lash hairs. I'm going to put on my brows, my liner, and some mascara, and then I will be right back. So now that I've got brows done and I've got some black gel liner on the lower lash line, let's go ahead and pop a little bit of the diamond powder out of this palette into the inner corners to really make this look come together. And let me try spraying my brush a little bit. I think that's pretty, but I think we can take it up a notch even further. So this one isn't giving me quite enough bling. Let's try one of my Clionadh shadows. I took this shade right here, which I think is Kaleidoscope. It might be Sunbeam. I'm going to have to pop it out and check. But I took that shade and just popped it over top of the diamond powder. And I think it just gives it like a little bit of extra reflectance, which I really, really like. Yeah, like I think that just pops really nicely. Alright, and I'm just going in with the little Pure Barbie Doll setting spray here. And then I'm going to pop on a little bit of the Nabla Major Pleasure Mascara, and then I'll put my lashes over top of that. So these are the lashes that I chose to put on. Again, I think they're from a company that no longer exists, so I'm not gonna like talk about them too long. And then I'm gonna top off, or I'm gonna do just a really sheer lip color, which this is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. This is like one of the only things that I've purchased that I know is not cruelty free, and I hate myself for purchasing it, but I really love these glosses, and so I really can't help myself. And so I picked up the shade Ice. And that is what that looks like. So, what do you guys think of the look? Let's zoom out and we can talk a little bit more about this. Okay guys, so let's recap a little bit about what we used today. So I was trying out this Season C'est La Vie palette from Maniacs Cosmetics. Again, it looks like this. I do think that it is a really, really pretty palette. It's definitely very, very pigmented. Doesn't have a lot of kick-up or fallout, which is really nice, but because it is so pigmented, I think you're best served by kind of tapping it into the areas on the lid that you want and then blending over, as opposed to just trying to blend and sweep from the beginning. So take that as you will. The shades that I tried out today, Echo, Amethyst, and Midnight, I think they all blended really nicely together, and they made this really, really beautiful, beautiful eye look. The pinkish shades I have not tried yet. The only kind of satin metallic-y shade in the palette is this royal shade here in the center. Everything else is a matte shade. So if you're looking for something that is going to give you a really nice, vibrant, matte base to an eyeshadow look that you could maybe then use a special shade from another palette or a special single that you have, I think this would be a really good option. It is listed as $20 on their website, and I will leave on the screen and then down below my affiliated discount code. So if you choose to use that, I do make a small commission from that, and I do appreciate it if you decide to use that. If not, no harm, no foul. But it is there if you want it, and that'll help save you a little bit of money on this palette. Again, I think this is a really nice palette. I really enjoyed getting a chance to try it. The other things that we used today, my Clionadh singles. So that is the glittery topper that I put on here today, and it is this shade here, which is called Abrasion. To finish out the face, I did the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation in LP4. I did the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Fair Rose. I topped everything with the Kiko Milano bronzer. I used the Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt, I think it's technically called a Bronze and Glow, Film Star Bronze and Glow, but I used the Sculpt side for a little bit of contour today. And then I used the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette for my blush and highlighter. All in all, I think the look came out really nice. I do like how like vibrant purple, metallic, jeweled this look came out. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. When I was thinking about this in my mind, this is where I thought the look was going to go, and I'm so happy that it went there. You guys are going to have to let me know down in a comment down below what you think of this look, what you think of the palette. Is this something that you've picked up before, or are you planning to pick this up? Definitely let me know down in a comment below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!